Hello friends, in last lecture we started with the aphorism number 286 to 291. In last lecture we studied about the aphorism number 286 and 287. These are related to the magnetism. Now in today's lecture we are going to discuss the aphorism number 288 and 289. These are related to the mesmerism, or also we called it as animal magnetism. As mesmerism and animal magnetism are the same term that is that is animal magnetism is used for the term that is mesmerism, and it is discovered by the scientist that is Mesmer. Hence this system is called as a mesmerism. In this, first I will read what is told by Dr. Hahnemann in aphorism number 288. In this, I find it yet necessary to allude here to animal magnetism, as it is termed, or rather mesmerism, as it should be called in difference to Mesmer, its first founder, which differs so much in its nature from all other therapeutic agents. This curative force, often so stupidly denied and disdained for a century, acts in different ways. It is marvelous, priceless gift of God to mankind, by means of which the strong will of a well intentioned person upon a sick one by contact, or even without this, and even at some distance, can bring the vital energy of the healthy mesmerizer endowed with this power into another person dynamically, just as one of the poles of powerful magnetic rod upon a bar of steel. It acts in parts by relapsing in the sick whose vital force within the organism is deficient here and there, in part also in other parts where the vital force has accumulated too much and keeps up irritating nervous disorders. In turns it aside, diminishes and distributed it equally, and in general extinguishes the morbid condition of the life principle of the patient, and substitutes in its place the normal and the mesmerist acting powerfully upon him, for instance in old ulcers, then in amaurosis, then in paralysis of a single organs, and so forth. Many rapid apparent cures performed in all ages by mesmerizers endued with great natural power belong to this class. The effect of communicated human power upon the whole human organism was most brilliantly shown in the resuscitation of person who had lain some time apparently dead, by the most powerful sympathetic will of a man in full vigor of vital energy. And of this kind of resuscitation history records many undeniable examples. If the mesmerizing person of either sex, capable at the same time of a good natured enthusiasm, even its degeneration into bigotry, fantasism, mysticism, or philanthropic dreaming, will be empowered all the more with this philanthropic self sacrificing performance to direct exclusively the power of his commanding good will to the recipient, requiring his help at the same time to concentrate these. He may at times perform apparent miracles. So this is one of the one of the different pathy that is used as a therapeutic measure at the time of Hahnemann, that is the mesmerism. In previous lecture we studied about how the magnets are used as a therapeutic agent to treat the different disorders. Now in these aphorisms, that is aphorism number 288 and 289, these are related to the mesmerism, or also we call it as a animal magnetism. So what is explained in these aphorisms, that is regarding the method of mesmerism. What is the method of mesmerism? And this therapeutic method is discovered by the scientist, that is Mesmer. So what is the Mesmer, or something know about the Mesmer? The full name of Mesmer was, that is Friedrich Anton Mesmer, the expounder of a mesmerism, was born in 1734. He studied at the University of Vienna, where he became a doctor of medicine in 1776 on the thesis, that is De Planetarum Influx, which is later published in English as On the Influence of the Planets on the Human Body. That is, planets affects the human body. This was a thesis which he write during he became the doctor of medicine, and his full name was, that is Friedrich Anton Mesmer, and he was born in 1734. So this is little information about the Mesmer, that is born in 1734. His full name was Friedrich Anton Mesmer, and he studied at the University of Vienna, where he became the doctor of medicine in 1776 on the thesis of De Planetarum Influxu, that is the on the influence of the planets on the human body, that is effects or the influence of the planets on the human body. And after this study, he invented the new method of therapeutics, that is mesmerism. So the method is called as a mesmerism, or also we call it as a animal magnetism. The both are the same, that is animal magnetism and the mesmerism. Only magnetism is related to the use of the magnets as a therapeutic agents. It is different. And animal magnetism, it is a method of mesmerism which is discovered by the scientist, that is Mesmer, and it is a therapeutic method of communication of human power upon the human organism by a well-intentioned person powerfully exerting his will. That is, this is a dynamic method, and it distributed a vital energy uniformly throughout the organism. That is explained in this aphorism, that is in aphorism number 288. That is, it is a therapeutic method of communication of human powers upon the human organism by a well-intentioned person powerfully exerting his will, and it acts dynamically and distributed the vital energy uniformly throughout the organism. So this is the aphorism number 288. Along with this, we also know about, that is in 1773 he first started treating the patient with the help of magnetic plates. That is, Mesmer first started treating the patient with the magnetic plates. These had been discovered not long before by a professor of astronomy from Vienna. From 1776, Mesmer used magnet in his treatment. He also claimed to have discovered a new natural force which was analogous to ordinary magnetism, but at the same time existed quite independently. He called this phenomenon as the animal magnetism. That is, from the description of Mesmer's therapeutic sessions, it became quite clear that what Mesmer does not concur with our current idea of hypnosis. Even through hypnosis is traced back to him. Mesmer effects had more to do with a belief in a new powerful form of bioenergy. That is, it is related to some of the bioenergy. That is Mesmer's theory of biomagnetism, that is processed from establishing that live organisms are influenced by the cycle of the sun and the moon through and the newly discovered and initially mysterious magnetism. In the 18th century, science was still unfamiliar with the electricity as a physical concept, while something like electromagnetism was even more incognoscible by the Mesmer. So, he was the scientist who discovered the theory of mesmerism. In this is explained in aphorism number 288. Now we will see what is given in aphorism number 289. In 289, I will first read the aphorism and then explain all the above mentioned methods of practicing mesmerism depend upon an influx of more or less vital force into the patient and hence are termed positive mesmerism. An opposite mode of employing mesmerism, however, as it produces just a contrary effect, deserves to be termed negative mesmerism. To this belong the passes which are used to rouse from the somnambulic sleep, as also all the manual processes known by the names of soothing and ventilating. This discharge by means of a negative mesmerism of the vital force accumulated to excess in individual parts of the system of undebilitated persons is most surely and simply performed by making a very rapid motion of the flat extended hand held parallel to and about an inch distance from the body, from the top of the head to the tips of the toe. The more rapidly this pass is made, so much the more effectively will the discharge be effected. Thus, more instance in the case where a previously healthy woman, from the sudden separation of her catamania by a violent mental shock, lies to appearance dead, the vital force which is probably accumulated in the precordial region will, by such a rapid negative pass, be discharged and its equilibrium throughout the whole organism restored, so that the resuscitation generally follows immediately. In like manner, a gentle, less rapid negative pass diminishes the excessive restlessness and sleeplessness accompanied with anxiety, sometimes produced in very irritable person by a too powerful positive pass, etc. So this is aphorism number 289. So what it explained? It explained about the positive mesmerism and the negative mesmerism. In aphorism number 288, we studied that is the mesmerism. It is a one of the therapeutic method that is discovered by the Mesmer, and it is also called as a animal magnetism. And this therapeutic method of communication of human power upon the human organism by a well-intentioned person powerfully exerting his will. In this, the powerful person is exerting his will on a weak person. In this, it acts dynamically and distributed the vital energy uniformly throughout the organism. Now, in aphorism number 289, it is explained about what is the positive mesmerism and what is the negative mesmerism. In this, that is the positive mesmerism, in which there use of a positive pass, and negative mesmerism, in which there is use of a negative pass. So in positive mesmerism, it is a method of practicing mesmerism which is based upon an influx of more or less vital force into the patient by a positive pass. So it is a method of practicing the mesmerism method which is based upon the influx of a more or less vital energy into the patient by a positive pass. So what is the positive pass? The positive pass consists of a single pass made without much exertion of will, with the palm of hands not too slowly from the top of the head downwards over the body to the tip of the toes. So this is the positive pass. That is, in positive pass, it consists of a single pass and it is without much exertion of will. There is no much exertion of will in this positive pass, and with the palm of a hand, that is not too slowly, that is palm of hand that exert not too slowly, that is from the top of the head downwards over the body to the tip of the toes. In this, the patient is lie in a supine position and the movement of the hands, that is from the top of the head downward over the body to the tip of the toes, and it is a single pass method, and this must not be too slowly, and in this there must not be a too without much exertion of the will. So this is the positive pass. Now what is the negative mesmerism? In negative mesmerism, it is characterized by that a discharge of the vital force that is accumulated to excess in individual parts, that is, there is discharge of vital force or it is accumulated in to excess in individual parts of a system of untabulated persons is most surely and simply performed by making a very rapid motion of a flat extended hand held parallel to and about an inch distant from the body, from the top of the head to the tips of the toes, that we call it as a negative pass. In positive pass, we use the single pass, but in negative pass, we use the multiple pass, that is, very rapid motion of the flat extended hands. In this, in negative mesmerism, there is a that is used in a undevelated persons. In this, there is discharge of a vital force or the accumulated in a individual parts. It is not accumulated all over the body, but it is accumulated in individual parts, and for this, in this we use the negative pass. So what is the negative pass? It is simply performed by making a very rapid motion of the flat extended hand held parallel to about an inch distant from the body, from the top of the head to the tip of the toes, and that we call it as a negative mesmerism. So these two methods are explained in aphorism number 289. So in this we again discuss what is positive mesmerism and what is negative mesmerism, and most of the time these are you asked for the short notes, that is what is positive mesmerism and what is negative mesmerism. In this, positive mesmerism means, I will again explain you what is positive mesmerism. It is a well-intentioned mesmerizer powerfully exerting his will stream into a patient a dynamic curative power. In this, a well-intentioned mesmerizer. The mesmerizer must have a well-intentioned and powerful person that exerting his will stream into a patient a dynamic curative power. It is a use of a dynamic curative power. This is done by a single pass, not too slowly, with the palms of the hands from the top of the head downwards over the body to the tip of the toes of the patients. Again, if it is desired to supply a weakened part with the vital force, this is done by placing the hands or tip of the fingers on the parts and exerting a very powerful and well intentioned will. So, if again it is desired to supply a weakened part with vital force, this is done by placing the hands or the tip of the fingers on the parts and exerting a powerful and well intentioned will to that patients. In this, Hahnemann acknowledged that where the vital force is deficient, so what is the relation between homeopathy and the mesmerism? In this, Dr. Hahnemann acknowledged that where the vital force is deficient, Homeopathic medicines, although well selected, do not produce results where there is a deficient vital force in the organism. If we select the correct homeopathic medicine, it will not produce a result, but with a gentle mesmeric pass and consequent revitalization or even a distribution of the vital force to the affected parts, the smallest homeopathic dose often effects wonders. That is, when in this case, if we use the method of mesmerism, that is mesmeric pass and consequent revitalization or even the distribution of the vital force to the affected parts, the smallest homeopathic dose often effects wonders. So in this case, the homeopathic medicine very well acted if we use the gentle use of a mesmeric method. Hahnemann states that the curative force of mesmerism is often stupidly denied and disclaimed for a century. So Hahnemann states that the curative force of a mesmerism is oftenly stupidly denied and disclaimed for a century. And Hahnemann told about this, that is, this is wonderful method and this is stupidly and denied and disclaimed for a century. This is explained in aphorism number 287. And in this form of mesmerism is useful in the treatment of uterine hemorrhages. So what are the conditions in which we use this method of positive mesmerism? In this, it is used in the uterine hemorrhage, rush of blood to head, then old ulcer, then insomnia, then restlessness from anxiety, then paralysis of certain limbs, and amaurosis. So these are the conditions in which we use the method of mesmerism. So positive mesmerism, it is a method which is used by the well-intentioned person and exerting his will into stream into a patient as a dynamic curative power, and this is a single pass method, as not too slowly, with the palms of a hand from the top of the head downwards over the body to the tips of the toes of the patient. And Dr. Hahnemann also give the relationship between the mesmerism and the homeopathy. In this, when we select the correct homeopathic medicine but the vital force is deficient, in this case, by using a gentle method of mesmerism where the vital force become uniform in the body, and after this even a small dose of homeopathic medicine can cure the patient very well. And Dr. Hahnemann also explained the use of a mesmerism in aphorism number 288 and 289, and which are the conditions in which this treatment can be used. I will again repeat it, that is in the uterine hemorrhages, in the rush of blood to the head, then in old ulcers, in case of insomnia, then in restlessness from anxiety, then amaurosis and paralysis of certain limbs. So these are the different conditions in which we use the method of mesmerism. So we see this is positive mesmerism. We will again revise the negative mesmerism, as it aims at reducing or drawing out an influx that has already accumulated in some parts of the body. That is, it aims at reducing or drawing out an influx that has already accumulated in some parts of a body. It acts in the reverse order of positive mesmerism. That is, it is in the reverse order of positive mesmerism. By this process, soothing and ventilating effects are produced, as by the method of negative mesmerism we produce the soothing and the ventilating effects on the patient by a rapid pass made by the flat extended hand held about 1 inch above and parallel to the body from the top of the head to the tip of the toes. The effect is produced. That is, in negative mesmerism we use the rapid passes that by the flat extended hand, that is 1 inch above and parallel to the body from the top of the head to the tip of the toes. The pass is made rapidly. Hahnemann notes that the person to be mesmerized, either positively or negatively, must not wear a silk cloth, where a previously healthy woman suffers from a sudden separation of her catamenia, or a person suffers from excessive restlessness and sleeplessness. It may bring much benefit. That is, in negative mesmerism, Dr. Hahnemann told about, that is, he noted that the person to be mesmerized, either positively or negatively, do not wear a silk cloth that will affect the process of mesmerism. And in this he give the example of a woman who is previously, that is, where a previously healthy woman suffer from a sudden separation of her catamenia, or a person suffer from excessive restlessness and sleeplessness. It may bring much benefit. In the former case, the discharge is stored, and in the latter, there is a restoration of health, peaceful sleep. And other benefits of a negative mesmerism, that is, in the shock and in general dysfunction, even to the extent of all appearance of death. That is, other benefits of a mesmerism, that is, in shock and general dysfunction, even to the extent of all appearance of death. Then what are the therapeutic objective of the mesmerism? In this, the therapeutic objective of mesmerism is that the ultimate therapeutic objective is to restore an equilibrium and harmony in body functions through the vital force. It appears to be quite in conformity with homeopathic principles and even conduct conducive when properly done. So this is the therapeutic objective of mesmerism. In this, it is also explained the mechanism of mesmerism. That is, it is probable that the curative effect of animal magnetism proceeds from the passes and manual processes, which are called soothing and ventilating, through which the discharge of energy is made. As it is probable that the curative effect of animal magnetism proceed from the passes or the manual processes, which we call as a soothing and the ventilating, through which the discharge of energy is made. A well-intentioned person powerfully exert his will on the sick with the honest objective either to remove a block or to fill a void in the free movement of the vital force. His powerfully exerted will is communicated by contact or from a distance of an inch through the passes that are made with the flat palms of the extended hands, beginning from the top of the head down to the tips of the toes. So this is the mechanism. We now study the mechanism of mesmerism, how the process of mesmerism is done. In this, the passes we used or the manual process which we used in the mesmerism are called as a soothing or the ventilating. In this, through which the discharges of energy is made. In this, the powerful person discharges energy to the weak debilitated person or the patient. In this, a well-intentioned person powerfully exert his will on the sick with the honest objective either to remove a block or to fill a void in the free movement of the vital force. His powerfully exerted will is communicated by contact or from a distance of an inch. That is, it can be done with a contact or it can be done from a distance of an inch through the passes that are made with the flat palms of the extended hands, beginning from the top of the head down to the tips of the toes, and such passes are made very vigorously and rapidly, or these may be moderate or low according to the size of the imbalance. That is, what is the condition that the patient is suffering. These passes may be rapid passes, or this may be a slow passes or a moderate passes. In these operations have many times help in emergent conditions, even in cases of hastening of death. That is, if the patient is towards the death, in this condition also it is very well worked. In this, history records many such instances. That is, it is useful in the emergency cases also. Mesmerism may be abused by too frequent passes or weak persons. This is dangerous and is termed somnambulism. That is the explained by the Hahnemann also. That is, what is the somnambulism? That is, the mesmerism may be abused by too frequent passes or on a weak persons. That is, if we used these passes on a weak persons, and these are very rapid passes, and this is dangerous condition, and this is called as a somnambulism. The quality of the effective mesmerizer is also initiated. He is to be sexually restrained, powerful in will, and pure in motive. That is the mesmerizer, which is must be a well powered person having a good power and also a pure in his motive. That is, his motive must be a pure. That is, he not be any corrupted person or having a bad power, or a, that is the defective person. The person which must be a mesmerizer, he must be having a well intentioned person, having a pure motive, having a ideal person. Then and then only these passes can be worked. So this is the mechanism of mesmerism. That is positive mesmerism and negative mesmerism, and this passes we call it as a soothing or the ventilating. So these are the two methods of mesmerism. In these aphorisms, that is in aphorism number 288 and 289, we studied about the method of mesmerism. I will again summarize what we studied in aphorism number 288 and 289. In 288, we studied about the what is the method of mesmerism. That is, this is the method discovered by the scientist, that is Friedrich Anton Mesmer, which is the founder of the mesmerism, was born in 1734, and which is studied from the University of Vienna and become a doctor of medicine in 1776 by the thesis of on the influence of the planet on the human body. And he discovered the very powerful method, that is dynamic method of treating the patient. That is the method called it as a mesmerism, or also called it as a animal magnetism. And it is the therapeutic method of communication of human power upon the human organism by a well intentioned person powerfully exerting his will, and it acts dynamically, then distributes vital energy uniformly throughout the organism. In this, the two methods are used, that is positive mesmerism and the negative mesmerism. And these methods are mainly, that is positive mesmerism, it is the method of practicing mesmerism which is based upon an influx of more or less vital force into a patient by a positive pass. In this, the positive pass consists of a single pass made without much exertion of will, with the palms of hands not slowly from the top of the head downwards over the body to the tip of the toes. And the negative mesmerisms, it is characterized by the discharge of the vital force accumulated to excess in individual parts of the system of undebilitated person is most surely and simply performed by making a very rapid motion of the flat extended hand held parallel to and about an inch distant from the body, from the top of the head to the tip of the toes. So this is negative pass. And this positive mesmerism and negative mesmerism having correlation with homeopathy, as Hahnemann acknowledged that where the vital force is deficient, homeopathic medicines, although well selected, do not produce a result, but with a gentle mesmeric pass and the consequent revitalization or an even distribution of vital force to the affected parts, the smallest homeopathic dose of often effects wonders or give the most powerful results. And these positive mesmerism and negative mesmerism are used in different conditions like uterine hemorrhage, rush of blood to the head, old ulcers, insomnia, restlessness of from anxiety, then amaurosis, paralysis of certain limbs. So this is positive mesmerism and negative mesmerism, which is a wonderful therapeutic method of communication of human power upon the human organism by a well-intentioned person exerting his will. And the mesmerizer must be having a well-intentioned person having a good motive, a pure motive, and an ideal person which must be a mesmerizer. Then and then only it is a very well or very good method to treat the patient in different conditions. This is explained in aphorism number 288 and 289, that is about the method of mesmerism, also called as animal magnetism, that is positive mesmerism and negative mesmerism. I hope you all understand about what is mesmerism, what is positive mesmerism and what is negative mesmerism, mechanism of mesmerism, then how will be the mesmerizers and how it affects the homeopathy, or what is the correlation between mesmerism and the homeopathy. So thank you friends, and if you have any difficulty you can ask me personally at any time. In next part we will study about the aphorism number 290 and 291. These are related to the massage and bath. These are also a therapeutic measures that are used at the time of Hahnemann, that is explained by him in the 6th edition of Organon of Medicine. So thank you friends. Bye.